Hello and welcome to another episode of Lore Walker's Manga Reviews. Today we will be reviewing the manga Cage of Eden. The story starts off with the character Sengoku Akira eating a large quantity of food much to the dismay of his classmates. After he finished, his attention is drawn to some revealing pictures of the female classmates, including his childhood friend Akagami Ryan. As they were gawking at the photos, Ryan catches them in the act and scolds Akira. We are then introduced to Arita Kue, Akira's best friend, Kurusu, the third-year homeroom teacher, and Yarai Koichi, a powerful delinquent. It is at this time that the plane begins to malfunction, leading to its crash landing on an unidentified island. When Akira comes to, he finds himself alone in a jungle. He begins searching for any survivors until he collapses from exhaustion. He then notices a creature that looked suspiciously like a big beaver. He decides to follow this creature with hopes that it would lead him to water, which it does. As he is drinking from the river, he hears a human voice. He runs towards the voice where he discovered two survivors, a flight attendant named Umori Kanako and a classmate named Maria Shiru. They were being attacked by a giant ostrich-like bird called a diatrema. After some careful maneuvering, they managed to evade the large bird in an overgrowth that was too small for it. After loading up his computer, Maria looks up the creature with software on his computer that has a catalog of extinct creatures. Using this computer program, they were able to identify some of the creatures they had come across as well as their current location. They then discovered that they were on an undocumented island with creatures that should be extinct. Knowing this, they reprioritized finding other survivors as well as marking the areas that they had already searched. After searching for 5 hours, they ran into the diatrema again. While trying to figure out what to do, the hear a roar come from behind them. They turned to find a saber-toothed tiger staring them down. After a quick skirmish between the two apex predators, the saber-toothed tiger came out victorious. As it carried away its prize, the tiger took a glance at them before ultimately deciding it was not worth its time. They set up camp for the night, with Akira reminiscing about his days in school before passing out for the night. When he woke up, he noticed that Umori was missing. He found her at the pond. Freshening up, while they were at the pond, they discovered the plane wreckage. When they arrived, they saw open food as well as traces of a campfire, which indicated that there were other survivors. Upon further inspection of the plane, they stumbled upon the body of the captain who had been stabbed to death, and that is where our story begins. Cage of Eden has a diverse cast of characters put into stressful high-stakes life or death situations. The story periodically switches between man versus man and man versus nature, which propels the story forward by keeping you guessing where the story will go next. Sengoku Akira goes from being the class clown to the de facto leader of the survivors. His journey and growth, as well as the growth of all the other characters, is truly a treat to watch. The story is nicely paced with a hint of suspense, horror, action, and adventure. The art of the manga is average, but that doesn't detract from the overall story. Although I do like the story, I do have one major complaint. The author received a notice that he had to wrap up his story as his work was being cancelled. Due to this, the ending is a bit rushed and ambiguous. However, I believe that the manga is worth reading regardless of this fact. This manga is like what you would get if you took the show Lost and combined it with Jurassic Park. Although there are no dinosaurs, there are super predators everywhere that present extreme levels of danger to humans. It even gives you a character who functions as an encyclopedia. This allows you to know the exact creature you are dealing with, as well as its tendencies and possible evolutionary offshoots. This story personifies the survival of the fittest. It also does a great job explaining the characters and motivations. While all the characters are not necessarily likable, they at the very least feel like real people. For my 1 to 10 rating of this manga, I would give it an 8.4. The characters are and all have different ways of thinking, but ultimately, they all have the same goal, survival. If you have a different opinion of this manga, then be sure to put it in the comments. For people that like the show Lost and the Jurassic Parks movies, then I think you will find yourself right at home reading this. If there is a manhwa, manga, or webtoon that you would like me to give an overview of, then put it in the comments below. If you like the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.